Welcome to the Stevia Show. It's the Stevia Show. Helping you expand on what you know. Throw in a meme of the week and a review of the screen. And to have a show that covers everything.
Hey, Team Stevia, and welcome to episode 105 of the Stevia Show.
A talk show podcast that covers pop culture, world news, local artistry, and everything in between.
Happy New Year. This is Steven.
And Merry Christmas. This is Lydia.
And we hope everybody had a great break. First episode of the year. Looking forward to it. We're going to see if we remember how to do this. So far, so good.
So far, we haven't messed up.
Yes. And
it's been a while. So thanks for listening to us again. Sorry, we took a vacation. We just needed a vacation, you know?
Yeah. Well, we also gave them a 24-hour stream. So
yeah, and that was exhausting.
That was exhausting. I mean, would I do it again? Maybe.
Yes.
But
I for sure would.
Yeah,
it
was
my
fun.
1 a.m. shift wasn't that bad.
Was it really not?
No, I played Minecraft Dungeons with old Sam.
Sam Smith played Dungeons with you?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. We played for like 4 hours and then he was like, oh man, he goes, oh crap, I gotta wake up and do the thing with Steven at 7, so I should probably go to bed. And I was like, oh, go to bed.
And then he had work while he was doing the thing for us, right? Yes. Sam's awesome. So that was like, cool.
This was so fun, Sam, but you should probably go to sleep.
He's a funny dude.
Assassin's Creed.
Nice, right on. Good to hear. And we would like to thank Chris Sharpe for hanging out with us on episode 104. As well as being on the bonus episode, which for you producers, we hope you enjoyed it, about women in gaming. We had fun talking about it, and we're going to go ahead and get right back into business with Steven's memes of the week, because we do have 2 to keep up. So I would like to congratulate Archmaester Robinson for being the first edgelord of 2021. He did the meme of it's what's his name? Jonathan Van Ness with don't tell me he plays Khal Drogo, Jason Momoa. Yes.
Momoa,
yeah. Where and basically Momoa's sneaking up on him, and it's Cash's Pokemon team, and then the other one was Cody's Pokemon team, the Vap Queens. So that was really good.
So good.
And then the one that I went on with JTag guest judging was the one from Glee with Jane Lynch's character saying MAGA supporters every day they wake up, and it says, I'm going to create an environment that is so toxic. Because we have quite a lot to talk about with them coming up. Yeah, we have a dummy thick episode for you all. So there's my 2 memes, and Lydia, you have 2 movies. So
I do have 2 movies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about Wonder Woman and Soul. So I put Wonder Woman first because I think Steven also watched Soul, so we can have some interaction there. I don't think he watched Wonder Woman 1984.
Nope.
Okay, great. I figured, which is great because you're not really missing out on anything. So, Wonder Woman 1984, Diana must contend with a work colleague and businessman whose desire for extreme wealth sends the world down a path of destruction after an ancient artifact that grants wishes goes missing. Starring Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig. My notes on this one, Steven, not so good, pal.
Okay.
I really wanted this to be good, but yet here I am, again, thoroughly disappointed with another DC film. You know, DC, they just can't do it right. Without spoiling the movie, and in the year 2021, I shouldn't be watching a movie and saying, wow, this CGI is so bad.
Was it like 2004 Spider-Man CGI bad?
Yes.
Which of course, for the not to dig at Spider-Man, for the time that was great CGI.
For the time it was good.
Right,
but when you watch it now, you're
terrible. Like, yeah.
Right. And so in the middle of me watching this movie that was just created, I was like, oh, buddy, that's not good. Now, don't get me wrong. Gal Gadot is an absolute goddess. She's beautiful in every single way, and she's a great actress. So she was not the problem at all. And I would understand why people would just watch the movie for her. That's great. But if you are a Wonder Woman fan and you're watching this movie, I can almost guarantee that you're very angry at the directing and the storytelling, because that was the big problem for me on this one.
Was it the same director as the first one?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'll look it up really quick.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Because the first one was good. I liked Wonder Woman 1.
The first one was great.
Yes.
This one, I feel like they pumped it out because they're like, we need a sequel. and it was just really fast. It was okay, but wait, it's 2.5 hours long, and
Oh,
I
wow.
still was like, no, like they were just jumping around. Half of it didn't make sense. There's all kinds of loopholes. It was not working for me, Steven.
It is the same director. Patty Jenkins directed both of them.
Yes, Patty. All good Patty.
Yes.
Patty, you did great the first time. Second time, not so much. And I'm not the only one who feels like this. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 60%.
Not so
I'm
great.
gonna give it a 45%.
Oh, wow.
You know, I would stick to just watching the first one and just leave it at that.
Cool. Gotcha. Now, this next movie we both really enjoyed, so let's hear about it.
Yes. Soul. Joe is a middle school band teacher whose life hasn't quite gone the way he's expected. His true passion is jazz and he's good, but when he travels to another realm to help someone find their passion, he soon discovers what it means to have a soul. This movie stars Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, and Graham Norton. And basically, people are naming this the first adult Pixar film, which I kind of love.
Right.
Even though I'm an adult and love almost all the Pixar films.
Right.
But this one is geared more towards adults. And I will say that Pixar does it again, but kind of in a different way. Where Coco took us to the afterlife and Inside Out took us inside the human mind, Soul takes us to both places in this heartfelt film. Personally, I believe the middle of this movie was the strongest part, but overall, the film has a wonderful message in that no one has a singular purpose to which their success is bound, but it is, in fact, in how fully every moment is lived that determines the success of a life.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was beautiful. The ending, I feel like I did like the ending. Unlike any other Pixar movie, I didn't cry. Um, but I felt like the ending could have used something more. I don't know what more it could have used. Maybe 10 more minutes of movie, maybe. I don't really know. I just felt like it kind of ended weird.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt like the middle was the best part.
The middle was absolutely the best part. For me, the ending I think was kind of cheesy. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but if Joe would have stayed where he was at the end, that would have made it so much more powerful. Like that he accepted where he was, which he did, but then they were like, oh, you know, we're going to put you back
plot
to
twist.
where, plot twist. We're going to put you back to a different place without spoiling anything. But I mean, really for how good of a movie it was, that's such a minor complaint. Like, I'm not too worried about it. Right. So what are the scores looking like, Lydia?
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes scored it at a 96%, which is pretty on par for any Pixar movie. And I gave it an 85% because I did feel like the ending needed more. It needed something else. And the middle was really great, and the voices were amazing, and the music, wow, so good. It's just really. I didn't get the 9 out of 10 feel, so I gave it an 85.
I think I gave it like an 8.5 or an 8.8. I gave it somewhere around,
so
somewhere around like the mid to high B. It was really good, but it's really kind of coincidental because you just talked about a movie, Wonder Woman 1984, that has bad CGI, but then Souls was outstanding.
It's beautiful. What a beautiful film to watch.
I know.
What a beautiful film.
So amazing. So I for sure recommend seeing Soul if you have not seen it. And Lydia, you do too, I'm sure.
Yep.
Cool.
I would watch Soul again.
Man, but
I would not watch Wonder Woman again.
But the whole Wonder Woman 1984 thing makes me so nervous about the Batman because what if that trailer that just injected life into all of us in 2020 and it just ends up being bad. I don't want to think it's going to be bad because of just how great of an actor Robert Pattinson is. But I mean, it kind of makes me worried that the DC universe just seems like they can't do it without Batman. You know?
Yeah, I think the Batman is really what pulls the DC universe together.
Film wise, I mean, I
would say Superman wasn't bad.
The one with which one? The one with don't tell me. The one Henry Cavill, yes. That one, Man of Steel. I really liked Man of Steel, and I wish
was good.
I wish they would have continued on with that without it being like Justice League and Batman v Superman.
Right.
I mean, Batman v Superman was okay. That was like a 6 out of 10.
But we didn't need
it.
Right.
No, we didn't.
We didn't need it.
Yeah. but then Joker was really good too, and that's DC Extended
Joker
Universe.
was good. Yeah.
So DC's like either like it's a roller coaster. It's either like a great movie or you go down and it's okay, but then you hit the bottom.
So it kind of gives me hope then, because they pull out Wonder Woman 1984 and it's like not good. So that means that Batman is going to be great.
Right.
But I will also say too is that none of the Batmans they've made are bad.
Oh
so
no!
Like,
Well. Except for the ones in the 1990s with like the George Clooney Batman was horrible.
Yeah, George Clooney should have never been Batman.
That was the bat suit with the nipples, and it was like totally totally unnecessary.
Just unnecessary nipples. You don't need that.
I mean, I like nipples as much as the next guy, but why would you put it on your suit? You know, like that makes no sense. You know,
so weird. So I have high hopes for this one.
Me too.
I do.
Me too. So we have a pretty big episode today because we haven't been around in a while. Looks like we have 7 talking points. So hopefully you all are ready for a long episode, because man, Lydia, I'm sick of living through historical events. I don't know about you.
I'm tired of it. I'm 28 and I'm sick of living through historical events. I'm getting gray hair from it.
Yes.
You know, most people only have to live through like 1 or 2 big events, and here we are, 9/11.
Yeah.
We've got wars on wars on wars, and now we have
the riots at the Capitol. So oh man, this was just bad. So in case you haven't heard, which if you haven't heard, I don't understand how.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you.
Your life is probably so happy if you haven't heard about this.
Right. So in case you haven't heard, far-right extremists encouraged and quote loved by President Donald Trump, rioted at the Capitol. 4 people were killed, including at least 1 shot by DC police, and a man who accidentally tased his own testicles, try saying that 3 times fast, until he had a heart attack. So what a horrible way to go. I mean, you know,
that's a bad way to go, Steven.
I mean,
I don't have a pair of testicles, but I would feel like that would be the worst possible way to go as a man.
As somebody with a pair of testicles, I would go ahead and say this would be like towards the bottom of ways I would want to go. I mean, it would pretty much go like the bottom would be burnt alive, then drowning, then tasing my own testicles until I have a heart attack. It would be like third from the bottom out of like out of the millions of ways to die. That would be, third from the bottom. So it was horrible. So the attack happened while a joint session of Congress was debating the legitimacy of Arizona's election results. President Trump then urged his supporters to go home in love and in peace, saying that they're special and that he loves them. And then basically Congress reconvened later that night with 6 senators and hundreds of Congress people, including all Oklahoma's 5 representatives, still voted not to certify the Arizona results. The Senate formerly had 12 Republicans planning not to certify the results, but after the riots, it was reduced to 6. Still too many, in my opinion. So, because I was watching the count on CNN, like as it happened, I watched Congress like break for it, and these people were just insane.
I would like to also point out that this is Capitol with an O and not an A.
Yes.
That is a common misconception around the block here. So
yes, because
the Capitol,
not the Capitol. Yeah, the Capitol is the building. The Capitol is the place. So yes, A is the place. O
is the building.
Yeah, A for on the map and O for occupying the building. There we go. Okay.
O for occupy.
O for occupy. Boom. You know, free lessons courtesy of Steven and Lydia.
Yes, and Steven also wanted to point out too, I'm not really sure if you have this in here. I don't think you do, but this was the first time that a riot, I don't know if you called it a riot in 1812, but 1812 was the last time somebody burst into the Capitol building to try to take over the land, basically.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It was crazy.
And as of now, the FBI is working on arresting people. I know the person who put his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk, which I want to say, that part in of itself is bad, but these are the same people who are like, oh, Colin Kaepernick's disrespecting the flag, I'm gonna burn my Nike shoes.
Yes.
But you know, it was on
and here they are,
and he literally put the flag on a table, like laying down, And
laying down.
like, listen, like, I'm not the biggest person for flag etiquette, you know, like that's your right as an American to do whatever, but don't say that like, oh, kneeling for the, okay, so yeah, there's one thing to kneel for the national anthem, but then literally laying it down like you don't care, like that's two completely separate things.
And then putting your feet up on the desk.
Right. And then
in
putting
a building that is like, that building is like the base of America. Like that's where
Right.
all the big American decisions are made, and you're gonna go and try to burn it down.
Right. That's where Bernie Sanders works. Why would you want to do that? You know,
why
like
would you want to do that?
That makes no sense.
Well, these guys, that's the exact reason.
Right. And then also the Viking guy he got arrested. The zip tie guy got arrested.
The guy with the holding the thing got arrested.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Oh, did you see the one guy who wore his work badge?
Work badge got arrested.
Yeah, work badge guy. That was probably the first guy arrested.
They found the guy that had a sweatshirt that said Camp Auschwitz on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Didn't that guy only have 2 teeth on his bottom row? I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So the whole thing was horrible, and with Donald Trump saying,
it was scary. It was scary
absolutely.
to watch.
And with Donald Trump saying that he loves them and they're special people, and like literally every other Republican except for, you know, the hundreds in Congress and then the 6 senators. So not literally every other Republican, but a lot of prominent Republicans like Mitt Romney, Pat Toomey have all even Mike Pence has been like, yo, this isn't cool. Mike Pence even changed his Twitter banner to President and Vice President elect Harris, or Biden and Harris. I don't know if you've seen that.
I didn't notice that. No.
But yeah. So
yeah, well, word on the street is that Mike Pence acted as commander in chief that day.
Right.
Because if he hadn't, who knows how long those people would have been in the Capitol. I'd like to also point out, Stephen, and we don't have to talk about this for a long time, but it's just, you know, 6 months ago, we were here talking about the same thing.
I was going to talk to you. Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing next. Okay, good. We have not lost it.
We sat here and said, wow, these guys were peacefully protesting. They just had signs and they were kneeling and they were on the Capitol steps.
And they get tear gassed.
They didn't have guns. They didn't have anything. And they were tear gassed and they were beat and they were pushed to the ground and arrested. And then these guys come in here and you said 4 people died, but 3 of the 4 people, one of them was a police officer, one did it to himself, and the 2 others, I'm not really sure what happened, but I just know that if they were a bunch of Black people that just tried to stomp into the Capitol like that, they would have been shot. I mean, there's no way around it.
Or it's like whenever Obama authorized that horrible DAPL pipeline that he did, and that went through Native American land, and the National Guard like fire hosed them, and they were just literally just defending their land,
just standing
there. Yeah, and it's just and they get hosed, and then the Black Lives Matter movement gets tear gassed. But no, the Capitol Police with white supremacists and these MAGA people
were running away from them. Running away.
Well, it's like, oh, I mean, they might as well. Okay, so the door right behind you, that might as well have been the security. It doesn't look like there's even a lock on that door. Just turn the door, push it open, walk right in.
That's exactly.
Yeah, it's so stupid, and
it is the saddest thing that here in America, even when it's put like that, Stephen, here in America, people still don't believe that there's a problem.
Oh yeah, no.
That is what really makes me sad.
If you need any more evidence that there are 2 Americas, we don't know what to tell you. Because if you aren't convinced by Black Lives Matter, which you should be, you should absolutely be convinced by that. But even if for some reason you're like, oh, all lives matter, but then if you see this and you're still like, oh, they were just peacefully protesting, you got to do some self-reflecting, because there are 2 different Americas, and there is clearly one with privilege and clearly one with not without privilege. So for us, like, it's something that I feel like with us having privilege being white, we need to, you know, like, help amplify those other people who don't have as big of a voice as we are, unfortunately. And it's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible that these people could just march onto the Capitol with guns. Some guy can tase his testicles. No big deal. Walk right in.
Fine.
Right.
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
And the thing that also really aggravates me is that a police officer died, and President Trump has not put the flag at half staff for him.
Right. And isn't that
because he was part of the stopping.
Right.
He was part of them trying not to go into the Capitol, right?
Could you imagine if like an Antifa or a Black Lives Matter or anybody left of center killed a police officer in a riot? I guarantee you there'd be immediate fallout from that. Like,
100%.
like the person who killed the cop would have been executed. Like there would have been flags at half staff. But since it was a far right militia that did it, it's again no big deal. Oh, that cop was in the way. Oh, the cop was acting wrong. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
which is
they blame the cop now.
Right, which is so stupid. Absolutely stupid. So the fallout of the event that happened, it's pretty bad news for Donald Trump. So as of Friday, January 8th, 2 of Trump's cabinet members have resigned. This includes Elaine Chao, who is the transportation secretary, who was also married to Mitch McConnell. Fun fact. And everybody's favorite. Yeah. So
Sorry for her.
Yeah, there's a fun fact for you. I'm the guy from Kentucky, and that's what I do, man. And then our favorite Betsy DeVos, who is the education secretary. I totally forgot she was around.
Yeah. Well, listen, I forgot about my hatred for Betsy until Betsy resigned. Right. And then I was like, oh yeah, I don't like her. And then I said, even though it's only 2 weeks, like she wasn't going to have a job, right? She was going to be gone anyways, but it just is a little more satisfying that she's just not empowered.
and she's being, not Betsy DeVos, but Elaine Chao is being replaced by your boy, Peter Paul Montgomery Buttigieg.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
The fact that I didn't even know Elaine Chao was just is so annoying because like she did probably nothing for transportation, but it's fine.
Yeah. So there's that. And then additionally, rumors invoking the 25th Amendment have been floated around. However, it is much more likely that Donald Trump will face a second impeachment this week. Representative Ilhan Omar, who we saw at the Bernie Sanders rally, that was last year. Now we can finally say that. She leads the charge, though it is highly unlikely that the 66 Senate votes required for conviction and removal will happen. So basically, you heard it here first. Steven's going to go ahead and call it now. Nothing will come of this. Nothing will ever come of anything. You know,
Steven, if you're just for the last couple of years, it just seems like nothing comes of anything.
No. Well, if you're 2 words, rich and powerful, president. Right. If you're rich and powerful, you can do whatever the hell you want. And that's the moral of the story.
I wanted to make sure to add the for this president, because remember when Obama wore the tan suit? Oh man, that was just crazy. People were up in arms about the tan suit, man.
Could you imagine if this happened during Barack Obama's presidency or Bill Clinton's presidency, and he
would have been asked to resign,
and he called rioters friendly people? Yeah, really, and it's only been people like Ben Sasse of Nebraska, and then Mitt Romney of Utah, and Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. So far, these have been really the only Republicans who have come out in the Senate and said, hey, like, I'm going to vote for impeachment, and they need to get like 17 or 18 Republicans to vote yes to hit 66. It's not going to happen, folks. Don't get your hopes up. If you're rich and powerful, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
So yeah. So what happened next, Lydia?
President Trump on January 8th finally acknowledged that Biden had won the election, saying we must continue with the business of America. Trump stated on Twitter that he doesn't plan on attending President-elect Biden's inauguration on the 20th.
Which that doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me. And I believe it's the first time a president hasn't been to the next president inauguration in 150 years. And only 3 presidents in total have refused to go to inauguration.
Well, whenever you're a sore loser, that makes sense, I guess. And
I mean, I'm not surprised.
No, me either. And I mean,
but 150 years. And when President Obama was president, he asked George Bush if he could get all the presidents together to meet. And so like George got all of the presidents together, and they all had lunch, and they all were civil and whatever. And now we have this guy who won't even go to Biden's inauguration. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you 5?
Yes.
I just, I can't.
But that's the whole thing, is that he's a sore loser. And, like, whoever is saying, I saw this really annoying CNN headline that says America is finally realizing how dangerous Donald Trump is. It's like, CNN, it took you 4 years to get to this conclusion.
Hello?
Like, where have you been? Oh, that's right. They're not working class people, Lydia. They're all rich. They don't care. Nothing.
They have no idea.
Yeah, they have no idea what it's like. Down here working, like holding jobs where we're getting paid a lot less than we deserve. But but whatever. So CNN reported, speaking of CNN, CNN reported on because PBS didn't report this. So CNN reported on January 8th that President Trump has been asking his legal counsel about the ability to self-pardon. While this has never been done before, a similar event happened in 1974 when President Gerald Ford pardoned President Richard Nixon following the Watergate scandal. So fun fact, President Ford is the only person to have served as president without ever being elected. He ended up losing his election in 1976 to future president, or now past president, Jimmy Carter. So there's 2 fun facts for you, and we're not even halfway through the episode. So
we love that.
We do.
In addition, Facebook and Instagram have indefinitely suspended President Trump. R/Donald Trump was banned on Reddit for inciting violence. And finally, Twitter initially suspended Trump for 12 hours, but later issued a full-fledged suspension of his account.
Which is great.
Which also, like, I know he's the president and stuff, but like, could we have not banned him a long time ago for his, remember when he tweeted all that stuff with North Korea? Like, hello? Talk about inciting violence. Hello.
Right.
I also read another article today about how
when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That was one from this past summer. But again, all these tech moguls, Lydia, they're rich. They're making money off of him. They don't care.
They don't get it.
No.
Pelosi came out today and said that she talked to an old general about the nuclear codes, and he said there is things in place. Trump can't do anything. So I was like,
good.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad somebody else was thinking about that, because this was me. He's still got like 10 days left. So
and he's probably going to nuke like Arizona and Pennsylvania, like all the states that cost him the election, so yeah. Oh my gosh. We have what? So following 1 week from Wednesday. So we have on Monday, January the 11th, we have 9 more days until
9 more days. We'll see what happens in the next 9 days.
Until things only get marginally better because
a little bit better, because half of America, 74 million people actually. If President Biden.
If you, dear listener, are listening and are thinking that all of our problems will be solved on January 20th by Biden's inauguration, you're wrong. You're dead wrong.
You're wrong.
And we have a lot of work to do. And I think, of course, things will get better, and hopefully we will continue doing the work that we need to do.
Yes. Yeah, I think it'll get better. And also, dear listener, I know you're probably thinking like, wow, these two really rag on Donald Trump because he's a Republican. The thing is, no.
We just praised Romney, Toomey, and Sass.
Yeah. So just remember that we do not dish out mean things against people unless it is warranted. And this was definitely warranted.
Well,
so, if Biden does something stupid, we're going to bring it up. And we have before. Remember when he said this stupid thing about, God, we don't have to, but we don't have to. I just wanted to say, we try to keep it fair around here, regardless about Republican or Democrat. It just seems a lot about Trump because in the last 4 days, he's literally broken America. So,
yes, and that's a very good reminder, Lydia, because if you do want to listen to our past episodes, we like dunk on Biden a lot. Especially whenever he was running. We didn't even attend a Biden rally when we went to Iowa because we literally thought he wasn't going to be president.
No way. We don't need to attend him.
No, because it was like, whenever Iowa...
We attended Warren over him. Well, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. No, we saw, we saw Bernie and Pete because they were the 2 leading candidates. We were like, one of these 2 is going to end up...
This is it.
This is it. And then Biden pulls it out of his ass and wins. But whatever. So speaking of pulling it out of your ass and winning, the Democrats narrowly flipped the Senate. There we go. Wow, that was a really good segue. So in the Georgia runoff election, the Reverend, I love that title, Reverend. If I can just be a Reverend. The Reverend. That'd be so good. The Reverend Raphael Warnock defeated Senator Kelly Loeffler, and John Ossoff defeated Senator David Perdue. As of Friday, January the 8th, Warnock had 50.9% of the vote and Ossoff had 50.5% of the vote. On Friday, Loeffler conceded the race to Warnock and Perdue conceded to Ossoff. So, Lydia, what does this mean?
This results in a 50-50 split for the first time since 2003. In the result of a split Senate, the Vice President of the United States is the tiebreaker. This will be the first time since the 111th Congress, 2009 to 2012, that the Democrats control the House, Senate, with Vice President-elect Harris being the tiebreaker, and the presidency.
Yeah, so this was a huge win for the Democrats. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and rag on Democrats right now. That 111th Congress did not accomplish anything.
They did nothing.
No, and
if I do recall,
no, they did nothing. They, I think, Obamacare was the big thing to pass out of that Congress, which was huge. And of
it
course,
was big, and it has helped millions of people. Right,
but if that's like your one achievement out of 2 years, whenever you literally had all of your eggs in the same basket. Like, come on, Nancy Pelosi. But whatever. And
which, by the way, Nancy, come on.
Yeah,
again?
She's the worst.
We have to deal with Nancy. It's just is like, damn, guys, she's 85 years old.
Yeah.
Not really. I think she's like 79, but still, God.
Let's look it up. Let's play How Old is Nancy Pelosi?
I just don't understand why we have to live in a world where everyone is 75 years old and controlling us, right?
Right.
Like they were there when segregation of water fountains. Like why anybody who was alive and can remember segregation, I believe should not be able to hold any type of office.
No, because Republican or Democrat
absolutely not.
Like, because Republican or Democrat, you probably still have those inherent biases.
Yes, 100%. And that's the same for our now president-elect. He is against busing, which he now has done he's apologized and he's done a lot for communities of all races. And so I feel like he has proven himself, but not every senator and congressman has done the same.
No, absolutely not. And also, fun fact, Nancy Pelosi is older than President-elect Joe Biden by 2 years. Nancy Pelosi is 80 and Joe Biden's 78. So, I mean, not by a lot. They're both ancient. But yeah.
Like, no offense, but like my grandpa is like 77. And I just, why would you want your grandpa in charge of all the things that you would want in the next 30 years, right? Like it just.
Thank God Kamala Harris is in her 50s. Like, that's good.
I'm thankful for Kamala. Kamala's my mom's age, and that's perfect.
Right. Yeah, I think that's great. Even Kevin Stitt, who we're not really big fans of, he is at least younger. Like, he at least kind of gets some things.
Kind of understands sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
He's halfway okay sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Except for when it comes to the coronavirus.
Then he's
then he's a little, that's where we lost him.
Yeah.
He was doing really good for a while, remember? And then March of last year hit and it would just went because he was like, oh, this is fake.
Right. Yeah. He made the 788 retroactive.
A million deaths later.
Yeah. A million deaths later. He did not slash any education budgets. He was actually doing all right.
He was doing good.
And then bam, COVID hit. So
COVID.
Blech.
The worst.
The worst. So not speaking of COVID, but speaking of transitions and, the worst and whatnot, Biden's cabinet has been finalized and it's not terrible. It's not great. It's just
not what you wanted.
It's not what it's just like there are some cabinet picks that I'm excited about, but there's others that I'm just like, why did you just pick another Obama person? And I feel like the Obama people outweigh the people that I'm excited about. Yeah, we
hate that.
Yeah. So the big one, of course, was Judge Merrick Garland, who he has been chosen as the United States Attorney General. Garland famously judged over the Timothy McVeigh case, which resulted in his execution. Garland was also the nominee to replace late Supreme Court Justice Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia in 2016. And this was famously blocked by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. But then they ended up doing the exact same thing with Judge Amy Coney Barrett whenever Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not good.
Not good.
Mayor Marty Walsh of Boston has been chosen as the Secretary of Labor.
Which is cool.
And Governor Gina Raimondo of Rhode Island has been chosen as a Secretary of Commerce. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. These last three picks, I'm kind of about. Like, I'm not. I mean, I'm kind of excited about Marty Walsh. He's pretty progressive. I mean, of course, I wanted Bernie Sanders to be the Labor Secretary or Elizabeth Warren. But with them being in the Senate, they can actually push for more progressive ideals now that the Democrats have a control over the legislative branch. So that at least makes me feel a bit better.
And I will say, two fun fact: this is the first cabinet to have. I mean, it's a record-breaking cabinet. It's
It is.
a cabinet with people of color. It's a cabinet with the first openly gay man. It's a cabinet of the first Native American, and it's the first time a cabinet is equal women versus men.
Which is great.
So it is a step forward in what I believe to be what 2021 should be.
Yeah.
And that's equality for all, no matter what you look like. And
Mhm.
if you are an expert in the field, then why would you not be picked, right? And
Right,
so
right.
like go figure, you would pick a Native American to be over
The interior, right.
yeah, like come on,
Right.
like, why is it that it took since the year of our birth basically of America to be to have that? So
Because racism.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited just because of those things. There is a lot of diversity on this cabinet. And I think that is going to help us in the long run.
I think so too. I think that'll do a lot of good in restoring our image across the world, because I do know whenever Trump lost, like literally the whole world was just like stoked about it, because like America, like we're finally back, I guess.
Right.
But it is nice that we are finally catching up with the times. I mean, better late than never. Still wish it wasn't late. But ultimately it's just good knowing that that President-elect Biden does want diversity represented in his cabinet and his administration. So that is good. That's what I'm most excited about. Yeah.
Next up is the stimulus package, which I didn't really write it out, so I'm just going to go through this article on CNN Politics. So this the stimulus package, which took about 9 months since our last stimulus package for the Republicans and the Democrats to agree on.
$600. They argued for months whether or not we deserve $600.
That was it. That was the reason why it took so long, honestly.
I'm very angry about that. Like they argued for, speaking of people being old, sorry, Lydia. But speaking of people,
I love it.
Yeah, speaking of people being old, they must think that $600 was a lot of money, because in 1968, $600 was probably worth a couple thousand. And now it's like $600 is kind of like chump change, I
mean, yeah, I hate to be this person, but $600 doesn't even pay for my house.
Right.
So I'm confused as to, do these people think that $600 pays for their houses? Like, do they just not pay for their houses? I just don't understand how they. I don't understand how they fought over for 9 months. They gave us $1,200, and then for 9 months they were like, "These American people, they don't deserve $600." After we had so many people be laid off, which mostly were women, I would like to say. And they just were like, $600, man. And then the president of the United States, which we have said a lot of bad things about lately, but he came out and said $600 is not enough. You should bump it to $2,000. And still Mitch McConnell said no. I hate Mitch McConnell. I hate Mitch McConnell because he is literally the worst human on planet Earth, I think.
Fixing to be Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell. And unfortunately, Chuck Schumer is going to be the majority leader. And he was, and I say unfortunately because he's another old white man who has money, and he was also the one who said "a women" instead of "a men," and it's like how I mean, and please, if you're listening and you are, like theologically inclined, please let me know if women is more inclusive, and I will rescind my comment. But as for what limited knowledge I know about religion, amen just does not mean amen. It's just like you're saying, that's it, God. See you later. Like
You're
goodbye.
You're just saying, bless up,
right? But if I'm wrong, please let me know. But back to the inflation calculator. So in 1968, which is when most of these people were, our age. Right. So if you would have bought an item for $600, go ahead and take a guess at how much money that would be in today's money. And you're about to get really angry.
$600 in 1968 is probably today's what, like $3,000?
$4,486.71. So
oh my God.
So that's probably
so they're gonna argue about each one of us getting $600 when in reality, if this happened when they were a kid, they would have got $4,000.
Right. And that's the thing is they probably
you know what I could do with $4,000, Steven?
A hell of a lot more than $600. That's for damn sure. But and like, again, I don't want to complain, but it's just insulting. I mean, especially for people.
No, I don't want to complain about it. And I know there's gonna be people be like, well, at least you got $600. Yes. Okay. At least I got $600. I am thankful for that $600. But you know what I'm not thankful for? The mom who is a single parent who got $600.
And she probably got laid off because of all the job losses in this past month, all of them were women. And then men for somehow gained 1,600 jobs, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, is this 1950?
Right. Like, everything's just so screwy.
When I read the stats on stuff, I'm like, this is related to the 1950s women at home, basically, is like, is what it reminds me of. It's like all these women just lost their jobs and all the men are now getting jobs. And I'm like,
like, it doesn't
make any sense. Are we going back in time? Is this time travel? Hello?
Yeah, exactly. And like, I just don't, and I mean, $600, like, yeah, it's great, but honestly, for working class people, it's a slap in the face. I mean, because like, think about it. We have so many people who have been laid off. They've lost their jobs. They've lost family members, friends to the virus. And then for 9 months being behind on rent, mortgages, car payments, here's $600 damn dollars.
All of the credit card debt. I mean, there's people out there that are never going to get out of debt because of this, because of not only just because they had to put, just like you said, their car payments, their house payments, their electric, they had to put all of this. How else are you going to pay for it?
Right. And then you're going to get evicted anyway because $600 isn't enough.
So you just put it on your credit card and then you try what's $600 going to do after 9 months of that stacking up. And then now you're going to have interest, right?
It's going to be like throwing a pebble at a tank.
So these people are never going to get out. They're never going to get out now.
It's so sad.
And that $600 did nothing for them, because you know what they did? They didn't get to use the $600 towards the payments from last month. They used the $600 to put food on the table for this month because they haven't been able to.
Because they have to. And that's the whole thing, is like all of these rich white people in Congress, they just have no conception of what it's like to be working class. And it's just, it's sad. It's absolutely saddening that a lot of these people have just amassed wealth. And they think that $600 is enough for 9 months of bills.
9 months.
That's insane. That is insane.
It should have been $600 per month, at least.
Yeah.
At least. I want to add that. If they're going to give people $600, it should have been $600 per month of the pandemic.
Right.
That would have at least helped. This doesn't even help.
No, it's like, honestly, just it's bad. Yeah. So, and then news and cryptocurrency, which Lydia talked about, which, by the way, if you want to listen to a really good podcast about cryptocurrency, our friend Justin Doulard, he has a podcast called Authentic Podcast with Justin Doulard. He's available on all platforms. His most recent episode is all about Bitcoin, and he answered both Lydia and I's questions about Bitcoin, which is great because I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I just know that it is a imaginary currency that
Yeah,
has,
it's floating out in the world.
but it's worth a shit ton of money. So
right now it is, Steven. So
Right.
yeah, I wanted to bring it up because I do recall, correct me if I'm wrong, that you put like $20 into Bitcoin like last year.
just to mess with it. Yeah.
And then did you have, is it still growing or what do you got?
I think I cashed it out. I think Bitcoin tanked. Like that's the problem with Bitcoin, is that it tanks and it spikes. It tanks and it
then it
spikes.
spikes.
Right.
So what is crazy? So that's why I kind of wanted to ring it up, because I was like, holy cow. So the price of a Bitcoin this week got over $40,000. One Bitcoin was worth $40,000. So if you bought Bitcoin when it first came into existence in what, 2013?
I think like 2012, 2011, in that ballpark.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Potatoes.
It was priced at like $100. Okay. So you bought your Bitcoin.
Where is it? I don't know, but you bought it.
Yeah, but you bought it. You could now have $40,000 per Bitcoin.
Shoot, the government should have just gave us a Bitcoin. That's what they should have
given
us, was a
everyone
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
They say that all the Bitcoins will not be mined until the year 2140, which I don't understand how you mine for Bitcoin. Anyways, you should check out Justin's podcast if you want to know more about that. I just want to bring up that is absolutely crazy that this thing on Friday, it was at $38,562.50. That's where it ended this week. And that is crazy to me that an imaginary piece of nothing is worth $38,562. It's worth more than me, and I am here.
Right, exactly. It's super weird. But I guess if you have Bitcoin, good for you, because you just made bukus of money.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll probably just wait until it dips again, buy it, wait until it spikes up again, and sell it. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Gotta play the game.
You do have to play the game. And speaking of the game, sports, we have some good news in sports. NFL Super Wildcard Weekend was this past weekend. We had 6 football games, and
lots of games. It was so good,
and all but one of them were good. The only one that wasn't really good was the Saints and the Bears, because the Saints just trampled them. But
yeah, it was good for a little bit, because I think it was like 7-3 for most of it, because it was just like back and forth, and then by the end of the third quarter, it was just like, there's Drew Brees, you know, there's what we expected.
So the next playoff match for their conference is going to be the retirement home, because it's Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. In the next round. So that's going to be funny. So Saturday's games featured the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts, with Buffalo winning.
Yes, congratulations,
thank you. That was a really good game, 24-27.
I mean, it was such a good game, and the whole time I was like, they have to win. They have to win. Steve is gonna freak out, man. And watching those Bills Mafia.
The Bills fans are insane. Yeah,
the Bills fans are crazy. They're maybe more crazy than the Eagles fans. Like,
oh gosh.
Bills Mafia is out of control.
I would love to go to a Buffalo home game one day, just to like break a table, because like they'll jump on tables and break it.
My gosh, Jacob Malden showed me this video today of Bills Mafia, and they're like all in their Bills stuff, and it's their son's first birthday. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
And the cake is a football field of the Bills, and they were like, Bills Mafia, and they threw the kid on the table of the.
That's awesome.
But it was like there was a bed underneath, like it was safe.
Right,
it was like funny, because that's like the thing is the table diving.
Right.
So they threw their 1-year-old.
That's so awesome. And then the next game was the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks, with LA winning, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team, and Tampa Bay won. Sunday's games featured the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans, with Baltimore winning. That was a good game. And then the Chicago Bears versus the Saints. New Orleans won that. And the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, which right now in the second quarter, Cleveland's up 28-0.
Shut your face.
Nope, 28-0.
Matt was like, oh, the Browns are not gonna win today.
Well,
I'm gonna win the bracket.
Well, so far, the bracket, I got Buffalo right. I got, Ooh, I just got. So far I've only got Buffalo, Baltimore, and New Orleans right. So I need Cleveland to win to get 4 out of 6. So right now I'm half.
I'm a 4-1. I lost the LA team. I picked the Seahawks over Rams.
Oh, so did I. But you chose Tampa Bay over football team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I picked Tampa Bay.
Cool. Right on.
And I have the Browns tonight.
I have the Browns tonight too.
Matt has the Steelers, so we really need the Browns to win.
We do, yes. And speaking of the Browns, this is the first time since 2002 that the Browns have made the playoffs. So again, we are living through all sorts of historical events.
We love it.
We were
At least it's with sports.
We were 10 years old.
Historical events.
Yeah, we were 10 years old in 2002. So we were literally in elementary school the last time the Browns went to the playoffs.
Yeah, I was in 4th grade because 2001 was 9/11.
Yeah, which was 3rd grade. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So Lydia, who do we have? We have identical Super Bowl picks, and we did not plan this. Yeah, we didn't plan this.
We all did our brackets separately, and then we sent them at the same time. So our Super Bowl picks, which I am very proud to say, is the Green Bay Packers winning versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl 55 will be Sunday, February 7th, and The Weeknd will be the halftime performer, I do like The Weeknd.
I'm so stoked for it. I don't know about you. Yeah, yeah. The song Blinding Lights, dun, dun,
anything The Weeknd has is so good. Mm-hmm. Their music is great.
So we should have 2 great halftime shows in a row because Jennifer Lopez and Shakira killed it. That was awesome.
Last year, man.
Yeah, they did so good, and that was a pretty good game too.
Not lie.
No, they don't. And then the game was good. Yeah, so we both have Green Bay winning over Kansas City. Matt has Buffalo winning over Green Bay, which is a bold pick. I do think the Bills will win.
You would be excited about, though.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, I want the Bills.
You'd be like, that's worth $20.
Right. I mean, I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl, and I think they will win the Super Bowl with Josh Allen. I just don't think this is the year yet. I think they have to make a deep run before they can get through Pat Mahomes.
With Aaron Rodgers playing the way he is, and then Pat Mahomes just being Pat Mahomes in general.
Right.
Josh Allen really probably needs a couple more years before he gets up there. But
Yeah.
I do think that winning this game was huge for that team.
Right.
Huge
I
for
think
that team.
Yeah, because I think I have the Bills going all the way to the to the conference the conference finals, which you do too. But we both have Kansas City beating them, and I think like that's the deep playoff run that they need to realize like, hey, that we can do this, but they just needed that playoff experience. So
100%.
Yeah, I do think Buffalo will win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. It just will not be this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. All
but
right.
if it was, I would be super excited about it.
Oh, of course.
Because I love a good underdog story.
Yeah, me too.
But I really want the Packers to win so I can get a new T-shirt.
Oh, gotcha.
Or a sweatshirt. Maybe a sweatshirt.
It'd be nice because I mean, I really want Aaron Rodgers because I mean, I do have Green Bay winning the Super Bowl. I would love for Aaron Rodgers to win his last Super Bowl and actually retire. Because I feel like a lot of people just don't.
They keep going.
They keep going. Like Peyton Manning did the right thing. He went to Denver, won his last Super Bowl, retired. Like that's how the greats do it. You don't like.
And then Tom Brady is like still here. Drew Brees did the same thing. Drew Brees could have retired long ago. And he's still growing. He's still going.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're making, tens and tens of millions a year, I guess
but once
probably
you already have it, like.
Yeah, I can't even imagine
My thing
having
is
$10
like
million.
if I had $10 million, I'd be like, okay, because I know what it's like to not live on $10 million, right? Like, it'd be fine.
I just pulled out the calculator. Hang on one second. If you had $10 million just once, you could live off of a salary of $40,000 for 250 years. Isn't that crazy?
If I got do $1 million.
Do 1 million? Okay. So 1 million divided by 40,000, 25 years. 25 years of salary.
That is that's great. I'll retire for a little bit. I'll go do the things and then I'll just go back to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? All right. So let's move on to Stevia Sound Off. And I
haven't read these. So
Oh, gotcha. Well,
I'm excited.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 questions. So, and they're
Wow.
all really good.
Thanks,
So
Team Stevia.
yeah, so I will go ahead and read the description while you read the questions, so you can be
Okay.
prepared. So Stevia Sound Off is a section where Team Stevia sends us questions and takes, good or bad, we don't care. And as long as they are within reason, everyone on the show will answer them. We post a weekly thread on our Instagram story and our Twitter, and we have a dedicated channel on our Discord for this section. So what's in the mailbag this week?
Archmaester Robinson, which we talked about earlier. Congrats on your meme of the week win for 2021. He asks, "What gives you hope?"
That's a really good question.
You know what gives me hope?
What?
Matt Malden.
Aw, that's sweet.
I love him.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought of. That was the first thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Matt gives me hope.
Okay, so I won't say my spouse because that's probably another one that I would agree with you there on.
Yeah.
But outside of people I know, I would say what gives me hope is the COVID vaccine. That is what gives me hope.
That's a good one.
I mean, like just in the immediate future, that's what gives me hope.
Yeah.
Cool.
Me too.
So
A lot
Professor,
less people will die.
absolutely, and then we can get close to normal and being able to do things like being able to actually record the podcast
Like
in the
see
studio,
you in person,
right?
give you a hug maybe every now and then.
or a fist bump or something, But so Joe has 3 questions, but they all are very good. So Professor Joe wants to know. I just love saying that. What is the first thing you're going to do after receiving the full COVID vaccine? That's a good question.
That is a good question. And he says full because there are 2 doses, if you don't know.
I guess I'm
2
going
doses,
to,
20 days are right.
I guess
20 days apart.
I guess I will just embrace my role as a 5G tower. I think I will just allow myself to emit those 5G signals. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't believe in that. What am I going to do, Lydia?
That's what started COVID.
I'll probably go to a hockey game. Because I haven't been to I haven't been to a hockey game in way too long because of COVID.
And they keep texting me, and I feel bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they keep saying, "Hey, we have deals," and I'm like, "I'm not going to a stadium. I'm sorry."
Yeah, absolutely not. So that's what I'm going to do is go to a hockey game. Oh, actually, I take it back. Sorry, I'm going to go to a show. I miss shows so much. I'm going to go see my friends, and when the clock strikes, Goodfella, Cliff Diver, all of them, I'm going to go on the show, front row. I'll be there. After a round of vaccines.
I might show up. Just because I miss being out in the world. I'm not a big fan of concerts. You know that.
Yeah, you'd love the
like
Vanguard though.
To me.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the Vanguard is like you have the people at the front, and then you have like the middle, and then the back super chill. And they even have like
I would be the back person.
Yeah, and they even have balcony seating too at the Vanguard. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I did go on a honeymoon. So I did do something other than but we were safe. We quarantined and did all the things. And so, cause my initial reaction was like, I'm going to the beach, but I did do that during COVID. So I think that my first big thing I would do, is go to Disney World.
Oh, I was going to guess that.
That would be my thing. I would go to Disney World. So hopefully soon.
All right.
His second question is, what is the first thing you want to do under Biden's administration? So I don't really understand. Like, what do I want Biden to do, or what do I do once he's president? Because like once he's president, I'm just doing what I normally do anyways. So like,
I think what he's asking here, and my answer for this is, I'm going to be like, whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm not going to be like, oh great, like what's going to happen today? Like it's not like. I know.
Relieved.
I'll be relieved. Yes.
Okay. So the way I was going to answer this question was, I'm excited to be back into the Paris Accord.
Oh, yes.
For climate change. But if you're thinking about that, I will be relieved to know that Twitter wars won't be a thing anymore with our president. Hopefully, like he's not gonna, like Joe Biden's not gonna tweet at Kim Jong-un and be like, "Hey, bro, want to have a war?"
Right.
Like I am excited that I can look at Twitter again.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's my big thing is just not being constantly afraid that something bad is gonna happen based off of Twitter, like the Capitol riots. Like prime example. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his final question is, what game, new or previously released, that you have yet to play, are you looking most forward to playing this year?
That is a great question, Joe.
I don't have one right now. So Lydia, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go because I looked it up because I also didn't have one. And then I saw the one and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot that I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to let everyone know that my game that I'm most excited about is Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, okay.
And it's for the PlayStation 5. So I'm going to have to talk Matt into that one. But it's RPG at freaking in Harry Potter. Like, come on now.
Okay.
So that's what I'm excited about.
That's a
I
really
might not
good
be
one.
this year, but it might be in 2022 because nobody can seem to grab a PlayStation 5. But if I seem to grab one, then maybe.
Yeah. So I think that my one that I'm most excited about, I don't know if this is coming out this year. I just looked it up and there's no information. I was gonna say Breath of the Wild 2. But I don't think that's coming out this year. So
maybe late this year. They haven't really.
I doubt it.
Said anything,
Yeah.
So.
Let's see here.
You love Breath of the Wild.
I do love Breath of the Wild. So I guess a previous one that I released, I'm gonna try to complete all of the Arkham Asylum games this year.
Oh, Batman.
Yeah.
Those games are good. You're gonna love those games.
Yeah, I'm playing through Arkham Asylum, the first one right now, and it's just fun just being Batman and just like beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, you just get to do whatever you want. You're Batman.
Right, it's cool. I'm Batman.
You know what? You know what's funny is that when I looked up, I just Googled games for 2021 for this question, and the ad, the ad that came up is freaking Oregon Trail.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, that's awesome.
$2.99 on Game Fools.
Nice. You remember whenever I streamed that a few times?
Yes, that's why I think
was
it's
so
funny
much
is
fun.
because it's like what a fun game, and I typed games for 2021, and Oregon Trail is still relevant.
Yeah, which is hilarious. I think I'll need to stream Oregon Trail again because it's always fun because like the people in the comments are like, "Oh, I want to be in the wagon party," and people just like they just get so excited about watching like the little wagon. Yeah, I'll stream it soon. I'll stream it soon. So Skate Tape on Instagram, who he is our friend in the Backward Few, he asks, "What are some of your favorite Tulsa bands at the moment?" So I'm not going to cop out and say all of them. Because I mean, because they are, I mean, like, we love all of our Tulsa bands, but I'm just going to go ahead and say, not favorite as in like, I like one more than the other, but who I've been listening to a lot lately. I'll go off of that. I've been listening to a lot of Beach Friends lately. I
have too, Steven.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say,
I'm digging it.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna say Beach Friends and then Cliff Diver because they've been because I think they've had the most recent releases. But then our friends in Small Tribe, who were formerly the Noise Estate, released a new single called Noob Noob, and that was really good too. So
I haven't listened to that one.
So I just love that all these bands are still making content, and our friends in When the Clock Strikes, they have a new one coming out tomorrow, January 12th. And it's going to be really good. So I'm just going to say,
we're excited about that.
Beach Friends and Cliff Diver. That's who I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say Beach Friends and When the Clock Strikes because I'm really excited for their new stuff. But also I've been listening to some of their old stuff. So not really old. I mean, what's old? I don't know. But
anything pre-2020 is old.
That's what we've been listening to. Not necessarily our favorites because we don't want to. Yeah. Everybody. We love everyone in the area, so but that's who we've been listening to.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say like favorites because like all of them are better musicians than I am. It's not like it's not like I can make better music than
yeah.
Like, hey, Stephen Walker, want to have a guitar battle? Hell no, absolutely not.
No, I do not want to do that.
That would be above getting tased in the testicles on how I'd want to die. It would be being okay. So burn alive, drowning, tasing myself in the testicles until I have a heart attack, and then being beaten in a guitar battle by Stephen Walker. That's how bad I would lose. I would die.
Yeah, same. I agree. I would too.
And then finally, the others like us ask, favorite part of the 24-hour stream? Good question.
That is a great question. It went by oddly fast.
It really did.
And my favorite part, I think, was just all the people that came to hang out. Honestly, I think that that's what made it better. It was like there was people actively talking to me, and so I was like, oh, good, I can like talk to somebody while I'm doing this.
How many
Like at 1
viewers did you
a.m.
have? Yeah, how many viewers did you have during the 1 to 6 shift?
Like 7 to 10, and that
Wow,
was like
that's
pretty
awesome.
good. I feel like at 1 a.m. And so it was kind of cool because it's like, 7 viewers. Like we don't really, and they were sometimes were people that we'd never talked to before,
Were
and
they
so
were they
they were like,
Europeans?
oh hey, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just curious.
Well, I
because,
don't
like,
know. Actually, I don't know.
Okay,
I
it's
don't
like because
know
like
if they are or not.
1 in the morning for us would be like daytime for them. So I
Yeah,
just
so
didn't,
maybe.
yeah, I just didn't know, but that's
I
awesome.
should have asked that question. Like, why are you awake?
Well, then
What are you doing?
And didn't you also say that you and Sam played Dungeons for 4 hours?
Yeah, we played
That's so
Dungeons
cool.
for 4 hours. And then he was like, oh crap, it's like 4 a.m. I should go to sleep because I have to be up for 7 a.m. with Steven. And I was like, oh buddy. And then he went to work.
Yeah. What a
So
good
Dungeons
day.
was so fun because that was the first time I played it. And so Sam and I were figuring it out, like doing all the things. And
Oh, speaking of Sam, he actually wants to do Stevia Dungeons and Dragons. Which we
I've
need
never
to
played.
It's really easy. All you need is an imagination and a set of dice. That's all you need.
Okay,
So,
well that's good. I don't have a big imagination, but I can definitely try.
oh, but Dungeons and Dragons, like you get into it. It's super cool. It's like
Okay,
I'm gonna cast this spell, and then you roll, and then you get like a really bad roll, and everybody laughs at you. It's a good time.
Oh, good.
So we could probably stream that here pretty soon. So we'll need to talk to Sam in a DM. So
I love that.
yeah, so I think that's about it. An hour.
Hey, you didn't answer. What was your favorite 24 hours?
Yeah. Sorry. I really enjoyed all the Tears for Peers. I'm not a big marathon gamer, so like I can't game for like hours on end. Like you can, which is that's just not one of my.
Which is so weird. How I literally at one point I was like, dang, I've been sitting here for like 5 hours. I didn't.
Yeah.
For a long time. I was like, oh man, I should probably go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah. See, I just can't do that. It's just not like I love games, but I think I'm just too aware of time. I guess I'm not too certain.
Yeah, you have to be because I'm like not. I'm like, oh my god, all of a sudden it's 6 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think my favorite part was doing all the Tears for Peers with
and
everybody.
They were great, Steven.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, doing the Tears for Peers with you doing the Disney movies. We do need to do a second one of that. Yeah.
We got roasted. We forgot a lot of movies.
Yeah, we sure did. So we need to do a Tears for Peers for more Disney movies. The fast food one was great.
That was good.
Me, Joe, and Cody, we went through literally every single Pokemon and said whether or not we would eat them. And I'm shocked that we made it all the way through that. We ranked emo bands. It was really good. My least favorite part was one of the sad boys, Mike, saying that Blue October is not a good band, and he and I argue about that all the time. My little emo heart loves Blue October. Yeah,
I like Blue October. I thought they were good.
Yeah, they are good, but I think Mike just doesn't like them, so that's just whatever.
Also, so I passed off the torch to you at 7 a.m. and we were missing a few members of the Tears for Peers. Did they ever show up?
Oh, it was Mike that we were missing, and he showed up later. And he literally had a Zoom background that said Blue October is not a good band. It was just so funny. Because
I went to nap. I napped for a little bit, and then I had to clean out my apartment. So I missed the part where Mike ever showed up.
Yeah, he did show up, and then he stuck around for the fast food Tears for Peers. That was me. Taryn joined us. It was me, Mike, Alec, and Taryn. Ranking fast food.
And that was good. I was up during that part. And then for Pokemon, I got to number 20, I think. And then I was like, I've only had 2 hours of sleep. I need to take a shower and go to sleep. And so I went to sleep and then woke up for the last part. I don't even remember the last 1 to 7. I don't even remember what I played because I was so tired.
Oh, well, it was a good time, but thanks again, everybody, for 1,000 likes on Facebook. So I think that's it today, Team Stevia.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So you can, as always, follow us on all the social media platforms with the handle @the Show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcast app you listen to. If you're on YouTube, just search for the Stevia Show and subscribe, and be sure to smash that notification button.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Make sure to check out our streams. We stream at least once a week. And by the way, we'll be starting that this week. Stream schedules are posted on all platforms monthly and on our Instagram weekly. Anchor and Patreon producers are able to join multiplayer streams and in-game chat. So we do want to apologize. We didn't do it last week, but it was our first week back in the office. And we, if you know us, we work in higher education. And the first 2 weeks before school starts are a living hell.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Oh, and I actually don't know if we're going to start it this week because we have to work later.
I'll stream on Tuesday, probably late Tuesday. Okay. I'll stream. So we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll talk to you. And we also have merchandise available through our links in our bio as well as our show notes. So whenever you visit us online, check out our link tree and click on merch. We ship nationwide as well. So whether you live in Buffalo, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Washington, D.C.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Who else are we missing? Chicago. And I think I have Los Angeles, and there's got to be Seattle. Boom. That was all of them.
Seattle. Okay. I was like, which one did you miss?
Yep. We will ship to you there.
Fantastic. And as always, we would like to thank our Anchor and Patreon producers for their continued support. You can support us for as little as 99 cents a month and receive exclusive Discord roles and bonus episodes every month. And this month, we are talking about something kind of interesting. So...
yeah, I'm looking forward to it because this is your month and we got some input from our executive producers and we're going to be talking about it. So
yep, it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Well, Team Stevia, thank you so much for ringing in the new year with us. We hope you all enjoyed it. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, all of that good stuff. But for now, this is Steven.
And this is Lydia.
And we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.